You've probably heard this claim floating around online. Muslims are allowed to lie to spread Islam.
It is possible to lie to the kafir.
Don't trust your Muslim neighbor. Don't trust your Muslim coworker or your Muslim student. It's usually packaged with a very scary word.
Taqiyya.
And represented as if Islam teaches deception as a religious strategy. That claim is a lie.
When are you going to apologize for the million Iraqis that are dead because you lied? You lied about weapons of mass destruction. You lied about connections to 9/11. You lied about Iraq being a threat. You said me to Iraq.
So today, let's explain what taqiyya actually is in the Sunni tradition, where these distortions come from, and why some people are so invested in spreading these lies. So if not from Islam, then where did this whole thing come from? The cartoon version of taqiyya, that the idea that Muslims lie as a religious duty for nefarious ends, that was not invented by Muslims, of course. It was invented by Orientalist writers, Islamophobic propagandists, and political actors who are invested in framing Muslims as inherently untrustworthy. Most people who weaponize the term today, they're not citing actual sources. They're just cherry-picking fringe sectarian polemics or some misquoted Shia texts that are taken out of historical context, or they're just making things up. But Islamophobes collapse all distinctions and they push one big conspiracy theory. If a Muslim tells the truth, it's
Taqiyya.
And if they deny the lie, well, that's also
Taqiyya.
It's literally unfalsifiable.
Taqiyya.
It's a self-reinforcing accusation designed so Muslims can never be believed. So that's not theology, okay? That's bigotry. It's bigotry disguised as expertise. So why do people spread this lie? What's in it for them? 3 things at least. 1, it undermines Muslim credibility. If Muslims are painted as inherently deceptive, then their voices on civil rights, on foreign policy, on discrimination, they can all be dismissed without engaging their ideas. It's literally cancel culture. If you don't like cancel culture, the taqiyya card is cancel culture. You're basically just trying to cancel everybody just because they're Muslims and not listen to what they have to say. 2, it dehumanizes and justifies surveillance and suspicion. Don't trust your Muslim neighbor. Don't trust your Muslim coworker or your Muslim student.
Muslim people from like Bangladesh or wherever, how are they? They get along well in the community?
Yeah, they get along well. I mean, you know, they the ones that's really helping us bring this community back.
Don't trust them when they talk about Islam. They're lying to you. Listen to us. We're the self-appointed experts. That feeds anti-Muslim policies, and it also fuels hate crimes. And number 3, it supports a political narrative, the idea of the internal 5th column, that Muslims are all just trying to lie and infiltrate. That's a recycled stereotype and a trope, one that's been used against other groups of people before, whether Jews or Catholics or Japanese Americans or others. The idea of taqiyya is weaponized against Muslims to continue that legacy. Pretending that Islam commands dishonesty isn't about religion whatsoever. It's about creating an atmosphere of fear and mistrust. So what should people actually know? In Sunni Islam, taqiyya is not about spreading Islam by deception. It has nothing to do with tricking non-Muslims whatsoever, and it's absolutely not a license to lie whenever it's convenient. The actual concept refers to one very narrow and specific scenario, that a Muslim who's being persecuted can conceal the fact that they're a Muslim in order to save their life. That's it. That's all. And it's rooted in one verse of the Quran that talks about these situations of coercion that were revealed when early Muslims in Mecca were being tortured to death just because of the fact that they were Muslims. There was one companion in particular, Ammar ibn Yasir, who was forced under torture to renounce his Islam. And then Allah revealed in chapter 16, verse 106, whoever disbelieves in Allah after having believed, except the one who's compelled, while his heart is secure in faith. But whoever willingly opens their heart to disbelief, upon them is the wrath of God, and they will have a great punishment. This verse clarified that being forced under conversion does not count as true disbelief or abandoning the faith, as long as someone's heart remains firm. This is the foundational and primary Quranic basis used in Sunni discussions of taqiyya. It's an allowance under life or death scenarios, extreme duress, not as a general license to lie. You literally have to have a gun to your head and someone saying, tell me you're not Muslim or else I'm going to kill you. That's the only scenario in which this becomes relevant. So taqiyya is permission for self-preservation under extreme duress, not a blanket approval of dishonesty. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, truthfulness leads to righteousness and righteousness leads to paradise. Whereas lying is strongly condemned in virtually every single scenario. And I would challenge anybody. I lived in Saudi Arabia for 5 years. I have literally a degree in Sharia law. Never once did I come across a book that even discussed taqiyya. Never once was taqiyya mentioned in a class. Never once did I encounter it. It literally is not something that is talked about, is studied. It doesn't even really exist. So I would like someone, I challenge anybody to come find me some quotes from classical manuals in fiqh or aqidah that discuss this sort of thing, and as a carte blanche, as a blank slate, or as a blank check to lie to people. So what should people actually know? In Sunni Islam, taqiyya is a narrow allowance to conceal your faith only under threat of death. It's not a strategy for spreading Islam. It's not a license to lie, and it's not considered as a virtue. Honesty is the rule. Taqiyya is one tiny, rare emergency exception, break glass in case of emergency, based on life or death situations. The Islamophobic claim flips this completely upside down. They want to make it seem like it's the norm, whereas telling the truth is the exception. And that's why it circulates in the same circles as the idea of a Sharia takeover or fantasies and anti-Muslim conspiracies. So the next time someone throws around the word taqiyya, remember, they're not quoting Islam, they're quoting propaganda. And if we want real conversation, real understanding, and real community, we have to start with truth, not fear.